Welcome back to another episode of the Unfinished TBR. Here we are again. We got Kasey back with us.
Whoop,
Spectacular.
He let me back in.
He did say that he aspired to be you.
Yes.
He did.
Yes. We
I'm
all
glad.
tried to be you.
This is what you want. It's what everybody wants.
Yeah, it is.
See, I told you she's mine. Back off.
So I'm Hannah.
I'm Allie.
I'm Kasey.
And this week's episode is another Reading Debrief. Reading Debrief number 4.
That's crazy.
We're in
Number 4?
Yeah.
Yep.
August, September.
Crazy. So here we are, 3 months in. Mm-hmm. It's December now. So that's why we got the trees. And we are on our 4th Reading Debrief.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Because last month we cut off a little bit early for filming. What was it? October 26th?
Yeah.
Or something was when we filmed. So this is getting a little into October too, but not too much. So this is going to cover the end of October all the way through the end of November. So let's
know how hard I wanted to also count this week.
Yes,
It was so hard for me. I was like, am I talking about this one?
Exactly.
I had a hard time.
I had like 2 more that I had finished, and I was like, nope, can't add those. That's going in December. I guess we should start with what we're currently reading.
Yes.
So, what are you ladies currently reading?
I'll go first.
Yes.
My husband became Santa Claus and bought me a Kindle.
Yeah, he did.
Woo!
And I am reading The Fourth Wing.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I will say, because right now I am having a hard time listening to books. I think I have burnt myself out on listening.
Okay.
And so I was like, I just don't want to read. And then I started reading this. I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning last night.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
I am officially 50% of the way through the book. This is my new personality.
Right?
My new personality is a writer, a cadet.
Yes.
If you will.
Yes.
So,
Cadet Allie.
Cadet Allie. Cadet. Oh, I about said Cadet Carpenter.
Whoa there.
Where'd that come from?
You've been married for 3 years.
Yeah. Is it going to change? Am I going back?
Is he going to mess up?
It's
Very
because of
possible.
Sabrina Carpenter. You're going to go back and make him use yours.
That's what it is.
Yes.
That's what it is.
We're probably related.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm not really reading anything right now. I have picked up a couple of books and I have just not.
It's a
been able
tough
to.
time of year to get fully into a book because there's so much going on.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas and plus y'all got littles. I mean, that's
Everybody's sick.
everybody's
All the
sick.
time.
You don't
Yeah.
feel like doing anything. So you're only reading Fourth Wing right now?
Yeah.
That's a good
I
one,
have
though.
Started By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. And I have also started A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Oh yeah.
I had read it I'd started reading it previously on my phone, but the audiobook came in on Libby. So
Perfect.
Nice.
Gotcha.
yeah.
But if you're not feeling the audiobook, then
Yeah.
I get it.
guess I'm just not a
Not
fan.
there right
Holly
now.
Jackson, I think.
Yes.
Holly Jackson. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe something will change.
Yeah.
Maybe something. Once the craziness dies down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What are you reading?
I'm currently reading Flock by Kate Stewart.
Heck yeah. So how far are you?
About halfway. So
Nice.
that's interesting.
Isn't it?
So far, I am not to anything poly yet, but I think I'm extremely
You gotta
close.
be. You gotta be.
Like, definitely there's already some vibes happening.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're like one slip fall with somebody. I don't know.
They're just gonna.
Whoops.
Oops.
It's the only way I can imagine this happening. I'm going to have to see how she breaks this down because, like, oh my God, it's going to be weird to me.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
Hopefully it's good.
It's amazing. Chef's
Chef's
kiss. But what else you reading?
I'm also about to start, like cracking it open tonight. It's going to be Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've got that on my that's on my TBR.
Good. I've heard both ways, that it's cringy, but also that it's like a good Christmas smut book. So.
Gotcha.
Well, spice probably, but
I've got a few.
yeah. Still reading Oh Crap Potty Training.
Nice.
I'm
How's
still
that going?
optimistic.
Has it gotten to the good part yet?
Yeah, everything's coming out
Nice.
in
Smoothly.
the story, not in real life.
Smoothly.
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay, so I've got the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is Dream Harbor Book 2.
How is it?
So, you know how our initial thought was that it was going to be going October, November, December with the books? This is the following year, September.
Oh.
Yes. So it's been almost a year since the first book.
So we got like 9
time-on
months
wise.
left.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time. And it's all right. We'll talk about it more next month because I'm going to be finishing it. I'm about 75% of the way through.
Okay.
That's on my Kindle, which my husband also got me a... we went upside down. My husband also played Santa early and got me a Kindle Scribe.
So we have all versions of the Kindle.
Yes. If you
I've
thought I was
got-
spoiled before,
Yeah.
I am spoiled
You've got
right
the
now.
regular Paperwhite, like
I think
the
so, yeah.
Gen. You've got the regular Kindle. I've got the Paperwhite, and you've got the Scribe. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I've been reading The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore on that one by Lori Gilmore. I've got The Haunting of Hill House on Libby by Shirley Jackson.
Said that it wasn't that. No,
No.
the TV show is a fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic.
So here's what I think they did with the TV show.
Did they pull a Game of
Actually, I'm
Thrones?
going to save it for the next go because
Okay.
I'm only
Oh.
halfway through.
Okay.
So, and that was almost an accidental DNF for the month. Because where it was on Libby, it was about to run out, and I started it with 1 day left, and I did not finish it. But I put the hold back on,
Okay.
so it came
Nice.
back. It just came back this past week, so
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to put that as a DNF of any kind, because it's back. I'll finish it this week. You
Yeah.
know? So, and then I am reading. Well, I am listening to my husband read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton.
Such a good one.
Uh,
We read that
I
in middle
haven't
school.
read that.
It's so good.
That's one of his favorite school
Yeah.
reads.
Say
Yeah.
Golden Pony Boy.
And we are only 3 chapters in. I reckon we've taken a little bit of a
Hiatus,
break.
yeah.
All right, so I guess it's time to get into the month. Who is first? Kasey. Kasey is first.
Because I finished a book the very day we recorded the last one.
Nice.
I finished Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover.
Yes.
Is it Colleen or Calling?
Colleen.
I've always said
Colleen.
Colleen.
Okay, Colleen.
That's how I've always said it too.
I read Ugly Love, and here's the description because we didn't read it last time.
Yes.
When Tate Collins meets airline pilot Miles Archer, she knows it isn't love at first sight. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is an undeniable mutual attraction. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they have the perfect setup. He doesn't want love, she doesn't have time for love, so that just leaves the sex. Their arrangement could be surprisingly seamless as long as Tate can stick to the only 2 rules Miles has for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but realize almost immediately they can't handle it at all. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly.
Silly characters.
I gave it a 5-star.
Oh, I like it.
I gave it 5.
I gave it 4.
I was a 3 until like 75% of the way through. And then I was crying for real.
Oh.
Hard crying. And I don't get emotional when I read books. And I was like, okay, you've pulled me in.
You've broke
you
me.
get 5 stars for breaking me. So it's a 5-star cry.
Yes.
I think I gave it 2.
Really?
I think so.
The smut was pretty
Did
good.
I?
Heartbreaking as well in other areas though.
Yes.
Oh,
Gosh.
Again, 75% of the way, I was just a 3. But if you can shatter me like that.
I
Oh,
understand.
God.
I do want to, we're not going to go too much in depth on this book because we have a Colleen Hoover episode coming out after the first of the year, so be on the lookout for that. But another thing that I didn't realize at the time, you know, we talked slightly about how Colleen Hoover, she wasn't irrelevant, but it took a minute for her to become like mainstream,
right?
Where everybody was talking about her books. This book was published August 31st, 2004.
What?
2004.
Oh my God.
Yes, she was 25 at that time.
Wow.
So that
Yes.
I'll have to cut this.
What?
That really like solidifies your theory that she just started, or maybe it was yours. One of y'all said she just started pumping out books that were quantity, not quality anymore after she got famous on TikTok. That tracks, because I thought this was way better than It Ends With Us or It Starts With Us, especially.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That her better stuff was her
when
early
was
stuff.
Verity published?
Verity was. Oh nope, I didn't
didn't
write
write
that
that
one
down?
down.
Let's see if I can
Write that
find
down.
it.
Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down. But I'll go ahead and say I read that on November 8th.
Did you?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, I read it on November 8th. So
Just like a week and a half apart.
yeah, we were very close, and I listened to it. What did you do?
I read it.
Read it. Okay.
Did I read it? Did I just lie?
I guess it doesn't matter. The point is, you got through it,
I don't know.
right?
I have that inner narrator though, so like even if I read it, I still hear
Right.
it for the most part.
Right.
That's weird. I have no idea what I did with that actually.
Yeah. So I did want to I did put a note on here that the cheapest option right now on that book is paperback for $8.73.
Nice.
So relatively cheap.
Even cheaper, the library.
Even
which is
cheaper
where I
the
got
library. We do go more in depth on the storyline and everything, how our feelings and everything in the Colleen Hoover episode. So stay tuned.
I read the entire Hunger Games series that is available at this
Right.
moment. It took me a hot minute to get through Mockingjay. A hot minute.
You were on fire with Hunger Games and Catching Fire.
I know.
No pun intended.
And whenever I started a Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, it was like a day I had it finished. Mockingjay was not it for me. I didn't even finish the movie. I did not. I rented it. I paid my money.
Isn't this the one we talked about? You did this with Twilight too. That's what it is.
I finished this one. This is why I don't finish series. This is just solidified.
So much judgment.
This is just.
I'm
We
angry.
listen and we judge.
We judge.
I will read the synopsis for Hunger Games.
Yes.
Because I do not want to spoil anything for the rest.
Yes.
In the ruins of a place once known as North America lies the nation of Panem, a shining capital surrounded by 12 outlying districts. The capital is harsh and cruel and keeps the districts in line by forcing them all to send one boy and one girl between the ages of 12 and 18 to participate in the annual Hunger Games, a fight to the death on live TV. 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen, who lives alone with her mother and younger sister, regards it as a death sentence when she steps forward to take her sister's place in the games. But Katniss has been close to dead before, and survival, for her, is second nature. Without really meaning to, she becomes a contender. But if she is to win, she will have to start making choices that weight survival against humanity and life against love. Anywho. By the way, I brought a bell.
If you can't tell.
If we start on tangents. We didn't explain the bell, so I didn't want them to be like, what is the bell?
Why'd she keep ringing that?
So that was our first mini-sode.
Yes.
So we are going to cut that into a separate little episode. So if you are interested in having a little mini discussion about those books, we'll be putting that up sometime this week. Can't tell you when, but it'll be sometime this week. So you might as well subscribe
And get
the notification so that you know when it's posted. So what did you rate each of these books?
So Hunger Games was 4.5.
Nice.
Catching Fire was 4.
Mm-hmm.
Mockingjay was 3. And Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was 4.5.
Solid.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm so excited for Haymitch's.
Oh,
I have
me
a
too.
feeling that Haymitch's is going to be 5.
It's going to be amazing. That's for sure.
Yes,
that's
I'm
for
so
sure.
excited.
So, awesome. So what's the next one?
Hidden Pictures.
Hidden Pictures. Wow. I was floored by this. I was speechless. I couldn't even explain to my husband why my jaw was on the floor. He was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like,
Read it, I guess.
So obviously I read this one on Kindle. So the wonderful thing about that, I don't know how the physical book is, but with those pictures that he drew, it would take up the entire page. And so you would have to swipe to get to the picture. I tell you what, that was was a jump scare.
Yes.
Holy cow. She was terrifying. I guess I should read the synopsis. All right. Fresh out of rehab, Mallory Quinn takes a job in the affluent suburb of Springbrook, New Jersey as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. Mallory immediately loves this new job. She lives in the Maxwell's pool house, goes out for nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet, shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings are the usual trees, rabbits, balloons. But one day he draws something, a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. As the days pass, Teddy's artwork becomes more and more sinister, and his stick figures steadily evolve into more detailed, complex, and lifelike sketches, well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. Mallory begins to suspect these are glimpses of an unsolved murder from long ago, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force lingering in the forest behind the Maxwell's house. With help from the handsome landscaper and an eccentric neighbor, Mallory sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy while coming to terms with a tragedy in her own past before it's too late. Wowee! Wow. I was not expecting that ending.
Mm-mm.
At all.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to give anything away, obviously, but oh my gosh, it was. I put that it was a roller coaster. At one point, I did want to strangle her for continuing to tell the hot guy lies.
I know.
She built lie on top of lie on top of lie and would never tell it. And soon she was telling lies to his family. Like, how do you come back from that? Maybe the first one you can come back from. You're freshly met, whatever. Once you tell his family, now you got to backtrack so much more.
Yeah. Now you might as well just stick to it, I guess.
Right. So I wanted to strangle her. Oh, I could have wrung her neck. It was like, tell him the truth. that's the vibe I got. There was one part toward the end when she is in a squabble, and she makes the comment that she knows that she can take them in a fight because she's been running every day. She's been doing her workouts. And they've been lounging around the pool, drinking wine and being lazy. Mm-hmm. And I have never been so inspired to get back into the gym. Like, I was like, she can take them. I was like, I couldn't. I need to get back in the gym. I read so many fantasy books where these women are training and, building up and becoming these warriors. And that doesn't usually do it for me. But this right here, where they were like attacking her, it was 2-on-1, and she was like, I can take them. I was like,
the confidence.
I want that confidence. And she could. Like, that's the wonderful part. And it was, yeah. So I've never wanted to get back in the gym more from a book. I was okay. So while I was doing my research last night, I was very surprised at some of the Goodreads scores and comments that I was seeing. They were putting like 1 star and like complaining about. I was like, I don't even want to read your comments because it's like we didn't even read the same book. Like, what do you mean you give it a 1 star? I know everybody's got their own tastes, but your opinion is wrong. Fix it. And finally, Ted is an absolute creep. I felt disgusting. at the end. Hidden Pictures is available on Kindle Unlimited. That's how I read it. It is $7.49 on Audible. That's the next cheapest option, but you miss out on the pictures.
Yes.
You miss out.
You gotta
at least have the paperback or the Kindle.
I gotta say, listening to Hidden Pictures, that is one book it doesn't count that you read it.
It's still creepy. But
yeah,
that jump scare is what does it.
My mom listened.
Yes.
And I told her, I was like, Mom, you're missing the whole point of the book.
Yes, you missed it. You missed it.
They didn't have a Kindle version at that point when she did it, though.
No.
Gotcha. All right, so what's next?
So I want to combine Home is Where the Bodies Are and A Flicker in the Dark.
Okay.
We have discussed this over Snapchat because the plot twists to these two books are the exact same.
Oh,
and I read
yes.
them one right after the other.
That's rough. That's rough.
It sucked. I will say the reason I'm putting them together is because I read Home is Where the Bodies Are by Jeneva Rose first. We have discussed before about how I'm not a Jeneva Rose fan.
Right.
I was so excited for this book.
Mm-hmm.
The cover art was it's a VHS tape.
Yes.
And so maybe I should read.
Give us a synopsis. What's it about?
Let me get my caffeine, please. Okay. Here comes a chilling family thriller about the sometimes literal skeletons in the closet. After their mother passes, 3 estranged siblings reunite to sort out her estate. Beth, the oldest, never left home. She stayed with her mom, caring for her until the very end. Nicole, the middle child, has been kept at arm's length due to her ongoing battle with a serious drug addiction. Michael, the youngest, lives out of state and hasn't been back to their small Wisconsin town since their father ran out on them 7 years before. While going through their parents' belongings, the siblings stumble upon a collection of home videos and decide to revisit those happier memories. However, the nostalgia is cut short when one of the VHS tapes reveals a night back in 1999 that none of them have any recollection of. On screen, their father appears covered in blood. What follows is a dead body and a pact between their parents to get rid of it before the video abruptly ends. Beth, Nicole, and Michael must now decide whether to leave the past in the past or uncover the dark secret their mother took to her grave. The beginning was so good.
It sounds
really, really
I'm
good.
intrigued.
Geneva just does this weird thing where the plot twist is like, ooh, oh God. Why'd you do that?
I gotcha.
You know?
I gotcha.
Where
It just
it's
kind of like falls flat.
Yes, the plot twist happens and you're like, oh my God, this plot twist is good. And then it's like, but the follow-up is something else.
And so it's like it cancels
yes.
the feeling.
So that is how Home is Where the Bodies Are. I read that one first. I'm just not a Jeneva Rose fan. I've tried. I've given it a fair shot.
Mm-hmm.
I then read A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham, and I wish I would have read this one first.
I
Really?
wish I
Yes.
was a fish.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. So, when Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, Chloe's father had been arrested as a serial killer and promptly put in prison. Chloe and the rest of her family were left to grapple with the truth and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in private practice in Baton Rouge and getting ready for her wedding. She finally has a fragile grasp on the happiness she's worked so hard to get. Sometimes, though, she feels as out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. And then a local teenage girl goes missing, and then another, and that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid and seeing parallels that aren't really there? Or for the second time in her life, is she really about to unmask a killer? In a debut novel that has already been optioned for limited series by actress Emma Stone and sold to a dozen countries around the world, Stacy Willingham has created an unforgettable character in a spellbinding thriller that will appeal equally to fans of Gillian Flynn and Karen Slaughter. We have talked about both authors before. I rated both of the books 3 stars, but again, I would read. If you were to ask me for my opinion, read A Flicker in the Dark first, and then if you are a fan of Geneva Rose, read Home is Where the Bodies Are, because it's very interesting with the VHS tapes and the multiple different perspectives.
Yeah,
because it's got all 3 of the children's perspectives, and they were all treated differently growing up. So
yeah, that'll make a difference.
And so I mean,
just don't read them back to back.
Yeah, don't read them back to back. I ruined myself. And I think I also read Sellout. We have we already have posted the interview with Mr. Wooley. I do not have the synopsis.
If you haven't read it, or if you haven't seen the episode, I highly recommend it. Tony Wooley is a gem. He is just a delight. Well, it's certainly not Anthony.
That's true.
No.
Never. He said
Mr.
He told us.
Sorry, I guess they call him Dr. Wooley now.
Yeah,
That's so
it's Dr.
weird.
Wooley now. Yeah, I hope he didn't
Mr.
get
Wooley.
offended.
I hope
Surely not.
Maybe Mr. Wooley watched this one too.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Wooley.
Yeah, Dr. Wooley. He did.
Musicians struggle a lifetime to achieve fame, but seldom adequately prepare for how they would respond if given a chance to step into the limelight. I wanted to be there, on stage, in front, to feel the audience's love vicariously through my songs, to have the masses love me. Some people call that selling out. I saw it as a life. Sellout is the story of 2 musician brothers, John and Farrell Coppice, who stumble into their dreams, not aware of what they truly desire. They quickly learn that even accidental fame comes with a price. John and Farrell are forced to balance their fame with family, friendship, and love while trying to maintain their sanity. Now, there were me and Dr. Wooley talked about this after we were done filming. Only 50 copies were made of the book, so you cannot order this book.
Yes.
Which I think we did a pretty good job at just sticking to the writing process, the publishing process.
Yes, I thought so too.
So, yeah. Contact Dr. Wooley.
Yes.
For a copy of the Sellout.
Yes.
So, or contact Amazon and say, get this book.
Right.
On Amazon.
I didn't have any extra notes on it because we do have the full episode on the writing process and everything.
There's really nothing. You can't read it.
No,
Nobody
exactly.
else can read it, so.
Exactly. So you're just going to have to miss out. We got lucky. All
Maybe
right.
have better teachers in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So on
Hoover.
Yes, I was preparing for that Colleen Hoover episode. Okay. I read 3 back to back. And they were all just different enough to where it wasn't like overkill for me, which was nice. I have some very interesting notes on November 9 though. I've already read it before. It was just as good the second go around. I guess I should pull up the synopsis, shouldn't I? Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day before her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same day every year. Until one day, Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon, and simultaneously his book, be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak? I have some we're not going to go like in depth on the story because of the Colleen Hoover episode. First, but Ben is him. I'm sorry, but I don't care what that sweet boy did. Ben is him. Okay, so here's my fun fact. This book was published on November 10th. 2015. 1 day late.
She saw an opportunity and didn't take it?
Well, in case you're curious, that was on a Tuesday.
November 9th?
No, November 10th was on a Tuesday. So, theoretically, with Monday being a work day, it could have been published on a Monday on November 9th. I don't know what caused it not to be, but yeah, it was November 10th.
The marketing team didn't take that and run with it?
Right.
Do you think it could be that because he was writing the book, it was almost like it was coming from him, and so he finished the book on November 9th? And
wait, what day of the week does she read his manuscript? Is it not she starts November 9th and finishes it November 10th reading it?
Well, she finishes it at the very last minute on November 9th. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's a possibility,
Maybe.
but I didn't do enough research on that to see if there was any, a specific reason why it wasn't published on November 9th.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't care about the symbolism.
Well,
I feel
I
like I
guess
would have jumped at
you've
that.
I guess you would want to do November 10th because everything happened on November 9th. You want to have every opportunity to write every single second down. So you couldn't read about it until the next day.
Again, I would have
I don't
jumped
like
at the
having
chance.
to reach. I don't want to have to reach for a
exactly.
reason. Just be like, ooh, it's November 9th. And
That's
it released
cute.
November 9th.
That's cute. Yes. Yeah. So, and we won't talk too much about it, but I do want to say that Ben's mom was a stronger woman than I'll ever be. To be willing to do what she did and have everything lined up to where they didn't have to worry about a thing afterwards. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of love. That's a whole lot of love. All right. So Verity. Wow. God,
Your
I love this book. This is my favorite Colleen Hoover book. 5 stars. I love it. I love it. Oh, I didn't mention on November 9th, the cheapest option is paperback for $10.17.
Okay.
So a little bit more expensive, but
you can't read the paragraph because Kasey hasn't read it yet.
exactly. I'm not gonna read anything. But
I cheated and I looked at what she wrote down.
well, we mentioned it in the episode. I am team manuscript. We had already mentioned that.
Okay.
But that's all I'll say is I'm team manuscript is real.
Okay.
That is my feelings, and we'll go more in depth with that in the Colleen Hoover episode.
Whenever Kasey finishes.
Yes. We're going to have another mini-sode.
Allie had like serial killer vibes in her eyes right then. Like, I was scared of that eye contact.
It's the no mascara.
Ah.
Law. So the cheapest option... The cheapest option on this one is paperback for $10.61. So,
But
Why
it's so expensive.
the odd cents?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe with shipping and handling?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Discounts.
One would like to believe.
That's what I tell myself when I buy books.
Right.
Ugly Love.
Which we already
We
talked
already
about
did this one.
so we'll skip
What was
that
your
one.
rating on it?
My rating.
What was your star rating on all of those? Did you get those?
Oh, Verity was a 5. November 9 was a 4. Ugly Love was a 4. Did I say that the cheapest is the paperback for $8.73 on Ugly Love?
Not on
No.
Ugly Love.
Ugly Love, $8.73, cheapest option. All right,
Me.
it's about to be another mini-sode time.
Possibly.
Let's do this.
November 8th. I read The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Do I need to give the synopsis? Have we given it enough time?
Yes, give your rating.
first.
3. I didn't love it.
Did you listen?
I listened. I
Did you
didn't
not
love it.
the voices.
They were okay. It was okay.
It was a book.
Yeah, it's a book. It's okay. I'm sorry.
I feel
like I've
betrayed.
yeah, I feel like I betrayed you. I'm so sorry.
I feel betrayed.
I didn't like it. I've already said though in Book X. Was it Book X? Where did we play the game? Book X.
Yes.
Book X. I'm not a fan of found family.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy to me.
I don't know. And the ending was very forced and artificial to me.
I can see that.
They had a good ending, and then he took 2 steps too far. He went right past it, kind of dampened it.
Yeah,
it could have been a
I
4.
get that.
It could have been a 4.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't like it. 2 steps too far.
Well, that is one of the
Did you like
reasons
the comedy that went along with it? Like, did you like the humor in it?
It was kind of funny. Kind of.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise.
I liked Lucy.
I love
I
Lucy.
loved Lucy.
Lucy.
Did you like the gnome?
Yes, I did like the
I
gnome that
love
continuously tried to bury him.
Chauncey.
I did like that.
Chauncey.
Chauncey, yeah.
The bellhop.
I could care less. Yeah.
What?
Now I feel
He
really
wants
betrayed.
to be a bellhop so bad.
He does, and I hope he makes his dreams. I don't know. He just.
Can I take your bags, please?
I just couldn't. It was so neutral to me.
Do you want to do One Perfect Couple and then I'll do the Harry Potter?
It'll be quick.
We get it. You're married.
One Perfect Couple.
She said that one time, and I've said it every time she reads a book with couple in it now.
You've done this to yourself.
Ruth Ware. This is Ruth Ware's most recent novel.
Yes.
One Perfect Couple.
Yes, I remember you talking about this at Kasey's birthday party.
Yes. She does it again.
Amazing.
She just does it again. I do think I only rated it a 4-star.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, that's still good.
Yeah. So, hearkening to Agatha Christie's classic And Then There Were None, this high-tension and ingenious thriller follows 5 couples trapped on a storm-swept island as a killer stalks among them. Lila is in a bit of a rut. Her postdoctoral research has fizzled out. She's pretty sure they won't extend her contract, and things with her boyfriend Nico, an aspiring actor, aren't going great. When the opportunity arises for Nico to join the cast of a new reality TV show, The Perfect Couple, she decides to try out with him. A whirlwind audition process later, Lila finds herself whisked off to a tropical paradise with Nico, boating through the Indian Ocean towards Ever After Island, where the 2 of them will compete against 4 other couples, Bayer and Angel, Dan and Santana, Joel and Romy, and Connor and Xana, in order to win a cash prize. But not long after they arrive on the deserted island, things start going wrong. After the first challenge leaves everyone rattled and angry, an overnight storm takes matters from bad to worse. Cut off from the mainland by miles of ocean, deprived of their phones, and unable to contact the crew that brought them there, the group must band together for survival. As tensions run high and fresh water runs low, Lila finds that this game show is all too real, and the stakes are life or death. A fast-paced, spellbinding thriller, rife with intrigue and characters that feel so true to life, this novel proves yet again that Ruth Ware is the queen of psychological suspense.
That sounds good.
Kind of does, adding that to the TBR. And now,
So, I love Ruth Ware. I've read The Woman in Cabin 10. What is crazy?
Mm-hmm.
It mentions somebody is reading The Woman in Cabin 10 in The Perfect Couple.
Oh, that's something like
Isn't that
Inception
crazy?
stuff, because that's her own
seen
book.
that before.
Yeah.
That is her
it's a good
own
plug
book.
for yourself.
Yeah. Now,
What's this book that they're reading? Oh, it's also by Ruth Ware.
So I wasn't a fan of The Woman in Cabin 10. I think my mother-in-law maybe read it and she really liked it. I do need to give it another shot because it was immediately after reading The Turn of the Key.
And so, I mean, that sets you up.
Yeah.
It's
That
kind of like the
sets
whole
you up.
Verity.
Yes,
and
reminders of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody also always talks about how good Reminders of Him is, but then you have like a swayed
Yes.
view of it. So
because
I
I was
need to give-
expecting Verity.
Yes.
So maybe you were expecting the Turn of the
Turn of the
Key.
Key. I got The Woman in Cabin 10.
Yes.
The Woman in Cabin 10 is one of her most popular books.
Huh.
So. But Death of Mrs. Westaway got me back into Ruth Ware.
Hey,
I
it
really
happens.
enjoyed One Perfect Couple. But if this is your first time with Ruth Ware, let yourself, if you aren't a fan of it, I would suggest any of the ones that I mentioned before. Don't
Gotcha.
give up on Ruth Ware because
Turn
of
of the
this
Key, for
novel.
sure.
Yes. Yes. Even
Okay.
Aaron enjoyed it. So that is that.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. It is time to go to Hogwarts, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoop, whoop.
It is time, because I finished the Harry Potter series this month. Started with Goblet of Fire. That's what I was reading. That's the one I was currently reading on the last Reading Debrief.
Yeah, because you'd already done Sorcerer's Stone.
Chamber of Secrets.
The Chamber of Secrets. I was like, what's
Prisoner
the
of
next
Azkaban.
one?
Yeah.
There was a
so
third one before that. I don't know the order. Sorry.
Well, if you'd read them.
Listen.
No, I get it. It's a commitment. It really is. But it is well worth it. Well worth it. Holy cow. So Goblet of Fire is book number 4. This is when the tears start. It goes from, I've said it from the beginning, from the time when I first read them. The first 3 books are, yeah, you can tell this is more geared toward young adults. Yeah, there's it's a fun adventure. There's serious things that happen, but it all turns out okay in the end. It's all good. And then you get to book number 4. And even if you've just
Is this
watched
the one with Edward Cullen?
Yes.
Okay.
He was Cedric Diggory first. Thank you very much. But even if you just watch the movies, you can see a shift in the intros. They get darker and darker as they progress. And this is when it starts. It stops being all cutesy. This is fun. It goes into, oh my God, this is life or death.
Not me.
Not Hermione. You.
You see the 2 kids where it's like, not me. Not my Heidi.
Yes. All right. So this is the only synopsis that I'm going to read for any of the rest of the Harry Potter books, because I do not want to give any spoilers for anybody who hasn't read them or don't know what's happening. So this one it is the summer holidays, and soon Harry Potter will be starting his 4th year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry is counting the days. There are new spells to be learned, more Quidditch to be played, and Hogwarts Castle to continue exploring. But Harry needs to be careful. There are unexpected dangers lurking. So this is also when the movies started getting disappointing for me, because so much was getting left out. These are giant books. From here on, they are thick boys. And Half-Blood Prince gets a little bit thinner, but still, it's a thick book. So obviously they had to leave some stuff out. I get it, but I don't like it. Like, there was so much more to the Quidditch game, the Quidditch World Cup. There was so much more to Fred and George. There was so much more to Cedric Diggory, even.
Well, now it's spoiled for me, so I can't read it.
What do you mean?
Just kidding.
What do you mean it's spoiled for you? I'm choosing my words carefully. There is... also, fun fact, this is my husband's...
I think you
touched a nerve there.
I stomped on it.
Allie with stilettos.
With stilettos. Fun fact, this is my husband's favorite book and movie of the series. Yes, he loves it. My biggest gripe with what's left out of the movie, Sirius Black had such a bigger role than what the movie shows. He was Harry's confidant.
Yeah.
In this one, and it did not show that at all.
No.
So that was disappointing. As a Sirius Black girly, that was disappointing in the movie, but I love the book for it. And not to mention, they completely leave out what I consider to be big plot points. A huge one is there's a house elf named Winky. Yeah. Y'all don't know who Winky is.
No.
Oh, well, now it's definitely spoiled.
No, that doesn't spoil anything. I'm showing you what you're missing. What we could have had. We could have had Winky. And I loved Winky. But my other biggest gripe is that, and my husband didn't connect these dots until he started reading them. This is one of those that I said, like, it's one of those you don't really think about it until you get all the information and you're like, oh, this was a loose end in the movie. Barty Crouch Jr. Barty Crouch Jr.
Who's that?
That is what I'm going to say.
And you're gonna leave it at
Because
that?
here's the deal. He spilled. He had all of the information. He told it all to certain people. But then he got kissed by a Dementor and basically turned into a vegetable before he could give testimony to the Ministry of Magic. That didn't happen in the movie.
No.
So here he is with a confession, and you're telling me they still don't believe the story? There's no explanation on why they don't believe it, because they have the story in this man. Why not give him the potion to make him say the full story again? And there's your proof right there, because he's forced to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah.
So it wouldn't even be a question. Of course, what he's saying is true. But because he was kissed by the Dementors in the book, that meant his testimony was gone. It was just in the people who listened, the people who were in the room at the time. It's only in their memory. And
they can't prove.
We see where memories can be altered later
Yeah.
on in the series. So... And Matthew was like, oh yeah, that never occurred to me, that that was a loose end, but it is, and it makes me angry because that is a huge plot point.
Yeah, because the you have to tell the truth with the potion.
Yes.
And the other people would be telling their version of the truth, but
Yes.
they weren't there to be able to manipulate it.
Exactly.
So they wouldn't use them.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
There has to be a reason that they don't believe him, and that's the reason, but it's not given in the movie. So that's my biggest gripe with that one. I love Order of the Phoenix. That is... There's only one character that I hate more than Severus Snape, and she is in the fifth book.
Is it the
I-
pink
Umbridge?
girl?
It's the pink girl!
It's the pink girl!
The toad. The toad. I hate
her.
her. Oh, and the gaslighting?
Oh, yeah.
The gaslighting in this one is rage-inducing. I completely understand Harry. I completely understand Harry in this one. Because it's like, yeah, I would blow up as well. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
literally.
I do want to point out that the gaslighting of the Ministry of Magic in this book, it feels very relevant to like the media today. Because I feel like everybody pushes their own agenda. Whatever
ways,
you
yeah.
believe, their agenda is pushed. And so you don't really get the most accurate information.
Yeah.
And that they're manipulating the Daily Prophet, the newspaper, to say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And to push their own agenda. Sounds like something that might be happening in our real world today, you know? So that added to my anger in this one because it hit a little bit too close to home. And then Half-Blood Prince, Jenny. Oh, God, I love Jenny. Jenny is her. I love her. Oh, she's given a disservice.
Yeah, because in the movies, I didn't by the end quite understand why Harry chose Ginny.
Exactly.
Oh,
It
that's
makes-
a big spoiler. Don't cut me. Sorry.
No,
But
but
now I don't have to read it.
hey, hush. It doesn't.
That has nothing to do with
no,
the main plot line.
No, it makes
It was the end.
them getting together made no sense in the movies. It
Yeah.
makes perfect sense in the
Yeah, I
books.
was like, she lightly had a crush on you. But that's
you
about
never seem to
it.
reciprocate until.
Yeah.
And
Like
when
you
did that
care
start?
about her as your friend's sister,
Right.
but
When did it turn into more?
yeah.
And it goes into that in Half-Blood Prince, and it's just, I love Ginny Weasley. She's such a firecracker. I love her. I would like to be able to talk about the handwriting controversy in this book, but I can't because you guys haven't read it, and it would spoil too much. So
Oh, well, now I
I'm
shouldn't read it
keeping
because
it-
I know something about handwriting.
I am keeping it locked in for whenever you guys finally read it. And then with Deathly Hallows, here's the final. I have reread this series 8-9 times now. I cried like a baby at the end of this one again.
Hannah's a crier.
I was driving and I know I looked like a lunatic because here I was just like sniffling. I was like whole hand wiping tears from my face. That's how many tears there were. It was insane. Just to be clear, it was not over the pensieve stuff. It was not, because I told you guys I was specifically looking for redeemable qualities with Snape. The pensieve still didn't do it for me. So Snape is still on my snot list. But after the pensieve, when Harry knows what he has to do, he's aware of it, and he knows he can't do anything to stop it. And so he's walking to the woods with all these thoughts, and he's seeing the people that he loves, dead and alive, around him. And he's like, I have to go into the woods right now. Oh my God. I cried like a baby. It was so sad. No, 8-9 times later, it's still so sad. So yeah, it's, also my biggest gripe with what was left out of the movie on this one, Dumbledore's sister. Dumbledore's sister deserved to have her story told.
Who the heck?
Exactly.
He had a sister.
Exactly. That portrait at the end.
I now know Dumbledore has a sister, so shouldn't even need to read the book.
Next week, Allie's going to be missing because Hannah's going to have hit her body somewhere.
Yes. Her story deserved to be told, and I hated that it was glazed over. It should not have been, because it helped round out Albus as a person. Anybody who has a gripe about Albus leaving Harry in the home where he grew up, because that's everybody's gripe, is, he saw the abuse and he didn't do anything to stop it, to take Harry away. It is all explained in the books. Anybody who complains about Albus Dumbledore saying that he was okay with the abuse, I automatically know has not read the book. Has not. You can't have, because it's fully explained in the books on why he left him. If you don't love Albus, then you've only watched the movies. Read it. The Midnight Library,
yes.
Allie.
So
who is this by?
Matt Haig, Haig. So it sounds Swedish.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Between life and death, there is a library. When Nora Seed finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. Up until now, her life has been full of misery and regret. She feels she has let everyone down, including herself, but things are about to change. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. With the help of an old friend, she can now undo every one of her regrets as she tries to work out her perfect life. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question: what is the best way to live? I gave this a 4-star.
This sounds spectacular.
It is so good.
Oh, that sounds like such a fun story.
You did not like The Measure.
I did not.
It is...
You didn't?
I did not.
She's crazy.
I like The Measure.
I know, but it's just...
It just had such a in my opinion, it was a beautiful look at the choices in your life, how you will live your life. And this has those same vibes where it's like... And so obviously she's able to choose these books and go into different... For example, she was in a band that she quit. So in one of the books, she continues on with the band. And it seems like everything is great, but really she's not. As soon as you feel the slightest hint of disappointment, you end back at the library. You go back to the library.
Okay.
So there's one where she stays with a fiance that she left, that she ended her engagement with. There's one where she becomes a glaciologist, where she studies glaciers.
Oh.
So she goes into all these different lives, and she can make the smallest of changes to her life.
Wow.
And at the end, she has this life that is just perfect. Like, oh my God. And then she leaves that life. And you're like, no. And that is like so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. It is such a good book. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful way to look at, you know, just because you might think that if you would have done things differently, you would be happier.
Right.
Not
That's not always the case.
Because there's
the grass
one where
is
she
always
ends up,
greener.
yeah, there's one life where she ends up with a hot actor, and like they have this like they're, you know, all this other stuff, and she's like, oh my God, this is actually terrible. So
Everything
I
is not what
highly
it
suggest
seems.
The Midnight Library. I thought it was beautiful.
It
I thought
sounds
it was
like it.
absolutely beautiful. I think that you would really enjoy it, because I think the reason that you didn't like The Measure is because you were like, what's the point?
Maybe.
This feels like it has more of a point. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like there's nothing you can do to change getting the boxes with the strings in.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you've read The Measure, you know that the ending is they pull the string to reveal a hidden compartment with pictures from
From the Christmas party. I thought of that the entire time.
I'm so happy I didn't see that coming. I'm so happy. That was an A+ joke. That was an A+ joke.
Which,
Wow.
you know, we all know that that's really how it ends.
Exactly.
Of course. It's a
Spoilers.
happy ending, really.
So what's next?
Girl
All
on
right.
the train.
The Girl on the Train.
Oh, really?
Yes. I had originally read this one fresh out of high school.
Yeah, me too.
Fresh out of high school. I remembered the general, like,
Yeah.
I remembered that she was on a train,
Yeah.
and she looked out the window, and she would look into these certain
Yeah.
people's window.
Yeah.
That was all I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who's
here,
this by again?
Paula Hawkins.
Okay.
Paula Hawkins, yes. So here's the synopsis. Rachel catches the same commuter train every morning. She knows it will wait at the same signal each time, overlooking a row of back gardens. She's even started to feel like she knows the people who live in one of the houses. Jess and Jason, she calls them. Their life, as she sees it, is perfect. If only Rachel could be that happy. And then she sees something shocking. It's only a minute until the train moves on, but it's enough. Not everything's changed. Now everything's changed. Now Rachel has a chance to become a part of the lives she only watched from afar. Now they'll see she's much more than just the girl on the train. So, it was fine. I rated it 3 stars. I don't remember like exactly how I felt about it back in the day, but this go around was 3 stars.
This was a movie too, right?
Yes. Actually,
See,
that is
this was
why
the
I
first
read
time,
it.
Yeah, this is the first time I experienced where it's like more suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I was reading the book, it was like, okay, oh, really? Oh, she probably shouldn't have done that. You know? And then I'm watching the movie, and I'm watching it with mom and dad, and I'm like, why am I so nervous? Why am I like?
You know what
'cause it's
happens.
like, it's whenever you're reading it, it goes a lot slower versus
Yeah.
seeing it. It's like bam, 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 and you're like, oh my God.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. That's actually why I read it, was
Yeah.
because this is on me and my husband's to watch list.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Are
like,
you allowed to watch it now? Does he
telling
know?
him.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't. He doesn't
doesn't
watch.
he doesn't watch the
pod.
podcast, so he doesn't know. He won't know. So
Hannah has secret
I
books she reads.
It's
They're
not the
even
dirty
good
kind.
things, no.
I remembered that she was, an alcoholic and everything. I didn't remember it being so bad.
Yes, I hate that plot. I hate that plot.
Yeah, it was-
I hate it.
It was unreliable alcoholic.
I hate
narrator.
it. I hate it.
Boo.
Yes. Get
So,
original.
Yeah.
It's so overdone.
It wasn't great.
Did I leave that glass there, or did somebody leave that glass there? I just immediately blacked out. I'm like, shut up, girl.
Where did this blood come from on me? Why do I have a cut on my forehead?
I'm over it.
So with The Girl on the Train, the cheapest option is Audible for $7.92, which is about $4 cheaper than just a regular credit. So
Nice.
don't use a credit on something that's cheaper. You just buy it. Save your credit.
Unless you're like me and you never use your credits.
But also, I personally wouldn't spend money on it. I got it through Libby, so that's what I would suggest. Do a free option. It's not really worth it in my book. No hate, but not worth it to me. Anyway.
Oh, what? The women.
Okay.
Is it that time?
It is.
Let's talk about it.
It is a Kristen Hanna novel.
That's what I thought.
Oh, God.
I would like to read to you the conversation on Snapchat that we had about Kristen Hanna. I put in the chat, I just finished a Kristen Hanna book last week, and another one of my holds just became available for her. ... I may have to deliver later because I don't know if I can handle 2 Kristen Hanna books in 1 month. Hannah says, that bad, that good, or that heart-wrenching? I said, heart-wrenching. She truly needs therapy or to be hospitalized. She enjoys making people sad too much. Hannah said, I feel like I know that name. I say, most popular, The Nightingale, The Women, The Four Winds, Firefly Lane. She does historical fiction, and she's a, all caps, monster. Send another message, but if you were wondering, yes, she is one of my favorite authors.
Yes. Yes.
So Kristen Hanna, she wrote The Nightingale. She is the one who I was in the park this summer whenever I was finishing that book. Mm-hmm. And it made me so sad. I was sick to my stomach. And it's been a hot minute since I have felt that way.
Yeah.
Never over a book.
But you were ready to be heard again,
I was
apparently.
ready.
Apparently.
Her writing is just so beautiful.
There are some authors that have that, just that extra little something.
And this one is over the Vietnam War.
Okay.
So I will say with her other books, the ending is always like, what? Why? That is so sad. I feel like emotionally destroyed.
Right.
Versus this one starts right out of the gate. We are just sad. Okay.
Just from the get-go.
Yeah, from the get-go, it's like, why am I even doing this right now? So, but the ending is much happier.
Good.
Than the others.
That's good. So it's like a build-up instead of a teardown.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. You haven't read the synopsis yet.
Yeah. So, basically, you need all you need to know. I gave it 5 stars, and it's Kristen Hanna.
5 stars.
From celebrated author of The Nightingale and The Four Winds comes Kristen Hanna's The Women, at once an intimate portrait of coming of age in a dangerous time and an epic tale of a nation divided. Women can be heroes. When 20-year-old nursing student Frankie McGrath hears these words, it is a revelation. Raised in the sun-drenched, idyllic world of Southern California and sheltered by her conservative parents, she has always prided herself on doing the right thing. But in 1965, the world is changing, and she suddenly dares to imagine a different future for herself. When her brother ships out to serve in Vietnam, she joins the Army Nurse Corps and follows his path. As green and inexperienced as the men sent to Vietnam to fight, Frankie is overwhelmed by the chaos and destruction of war. Each day is a gamble of life and death, hope and betrayal. Friendships run deep and can be shattered in an instant. In war, she meets and becomes one of the lucky, the brave, the broken, and the lost. But war is just the beginning for Frankie and her veteran friends. The real battle lies in coming home to a changed and divided America, to angry protesters, and to a country that wants to forget Vietnam. The Women is the story of one woman gone to war, but it shines a light on all women who put themselves in harm's way and whose sacrifice and commitment to their country has too often been forgotten. A novel about deep friendships and bold patriotism, The Women is a richly drawn story with a memorable heroine whose idealism and courage under fire will become to define an era. Women, you know? The title and just women.
Right. Women in general.
This is very sad. I love how Kristen Hanna goes in time, and it's true. We wanted to forget the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
I went to church with someone who was a Vietnam war veteran, and he came home and people were throwing things at his plane. So, sheds a light on that, and it kind of goes into women's rights because she obviously has PTSD, comes home, cannot live with it, and everybody's like, women didn't fight in the war. Right. Even the people, even like commanders, even like people who were over in Vietnam. She's like, I need help. I keep having these nightmares. She becomes an alcoholic at one point, and he's like, but women weren't over in Vietnam. And she's like,
yes, we were.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah.
So
literally
Kristen
singing
Hannah.
it all.
Have you all read anything from Kristen Hannah?
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know if I can.
Delaying my Nightingale one.
That's smart.
It comes up and I go, I'm not ready to be hurt. No, I'll delay 7 days. We'll come back in a week, and I'm like, I'm still not ready to be hurt.
My mother-in-law has swore off Kristen Hannah.
Really?
Yes,
because it's that traumatizing.
It's sad.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to feel like this.
Yeah, and I think that I would be the same way.
It's very, very good. So I do need to tell her because my sister-in-law, Kat, she loves the women, ranked it very highly. But I told her, I was like, girl, I just am not ready for heartbreak right now, because that's what you're getting.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. You've read Kristen Hannah before. You know what you're signing up for.
She's like, it's not that bad. And then I start reading, and like all these things are happening. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
But then at the end, you're like, okay, this really isn't.
Because it's not that bad.
It's a happier ending. It is a happier ending. So if you are a Kristen Hannah fan, but you're like, I can't do this right now. The Women is very good. It is a several month wait on Libby.
Yeah, it is.
Several months. I mean, whenever I first download Libby, I put this on hold. Oh, so we're talking like March.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
And I finally got it available. So.
Wow. Holy cow. They should have said basically
Hannah,
a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Kristen Hannah, we love you.
Yes.
I love you. She's one of my favorite authors. So good. She deserves all the love.
I'll get around to you someday. I am fragile.
Yeah.
My heart is fragile.
You become fragile. She doesn't give you a choice.
You must become fragile. Yeah. You must cry. It's part of the Kristen Hannah experience.
Yeah. I think I moved past the point of crying in Nightingale. Like I was past the point where I was just like.
It was like just shock.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I was so sick to my stomach. I've never.
I gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. Sorry. Goldfinch. Yes. Number 6 in the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. Wowie. Okay, so I tried to read. Well, I read the 5th one, obviously, and that was the hardest one out of the series to get through. Mm-hmm. And it didn't end the way I wanted it to. There were aspects in it that were
we talked about this where it was like, yeah. Well, we talked about this.
Yes, I actually can't read the synopsis on this one because it will give too much away. If you haven't read the first 5, it's too late in the series.
You said series.
Yeah, it's too late in the series for me to give a synopsis. The overall synopsis is that this kingdom, there's certain people with powers. Usually those people are kings and queens of lands. You can't be a king or queen without powers. And King Midas is put in touch. He's put in charge because of the gold touch. And his favored is all gold. Like she is all gold.
Okay.
And
does he touches her?
That's the story. That's the story. She is his favored, and it's her story on realizing her own potential and her inner truth. That's the general overview. It's fantastic. I highly recommend this series to anyone. I don't care if you're a fan of fantasy or not. This is a good one. Good one. I will give you a warning. It is very sexual. Like the very first scene in the very first book is basically an orgy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Putting it on my Kindle.
But
Gwen, you were worried about me?
Downloading it right now.
but it's like she is his favored. It is they're called saddles. They're paid sex workers.
Oh, well, then the name makes more sense. Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was an insult from someone else had given them this nickname, but if you chose it yourself, I mean,
yes,
okay.
that
You're
is
just
what
being
they're called.
descriptive.
Yes, and
Saddles, because they ride, yeah.
yes, it's self-explanatory, really.
Or are ridden,
Or are ridden.
whichever way you prefer.
Yes, because there are male saddles as well. There's male and female. It's equal opportunity, and it's But with her being a saddle, you're expected to experience some sex. You know, it's just part of the job. It's
Obviously,
you know. So, but it's her journey and it's amazing. And this one, I was so worried with the fifth one being so hard to get through. This one was fantastic. I actually got through it like fairly quickly, given that. Fair warning. Also, these books are another. They're big ones.
Crescent City.
Yes, they are Crescent
Kingdom
City.
of Ash.
Yeah, they are Crescent City and Kingdom of Ash.
Really?
Yes.
Kingdom of Ash is insane.
Yes. So, I personally, the first 4 books I listened on Audible. I did not realize whenever I got started on the series that it was on Kindle Unlimited. Because I didn't bother checking. I just used a credit and then continued to use credits.
I think they just started on Kindle Unlimited, maybe.
Well,
we can hope for Hannah's sake.
Yes, for my sanity on.
Well, I have the Fourth Wing that's been purchased for over a year, sitting on my bookshelf, and I'm reading it on Kindle
I was about
Unlimited.
to say I got it for free on Kindle Unlimited.
Yes. Just know that it might seem a little daunting if you're physically reading them. But the narrator is fantastic on Audible. If you've got some extra credits and want to use them, that will help you get through look past the thickness of the book itself. So
Yeah.
I recommend them all the time. They do have obviously sexual things. It's spicy. It's spicy. It's at least 3 or 4 chili peppers. Checks all my boxes, as I've said before. This one continued to do so. I do think that there is going to be a spin-off series in the future because the main male character's brother is not happy at the ending. And we can't have that. They must all be happy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is this the last book?
This is the last book of this series.
Okay.
Yes. She has confirmed. I follow her on Instagram. She has confirmed this is the last one of the series. However, I'm expecting a spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cannot happen.
Exactly. You
It's a
can't be
rule.
unhappy. Can't be
It's
unhappy.
a roll.
Yeah. So, yeah. Kindle Unlimited. But next cheapest option is $10.35 for paperback. All right.
Who's next?
I don't want to go.
Kasey.
I don't want to go.
What is it?
Girl in Pieces.
Were you in pieces from this one?
Already
Yes.
again?
Oh my.
This was recommended all over TikTok. And I don't know why, looking at the cover art, because Hannah's going to probably put it somewhere here. I'm holding it. Anyways, the cover, the title, I didn't expect it was about self-harm.
Oh.
I don't know. I just saw it on TikTok. I was like, oh, everybody likes it. Okay. I don't need to just read things blindly.
Oh, no.
Anyways, okay, so Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow.
That is a mouthful.
It is. I'm going to cry. Oh my God.
Do you need me to read it for you?
I got this.
You got this.
Charlotte Davis is in pieces. At 17, she's already lost more than most people lose in a lifetime. But she's learned how to forget. The broken glass washes away the sorrow until there is nothing but calm. You don't have to think about your father and the river, your best friend who is gone forever, or your mother who has nothing left to give you. Every new scar hardens Charlie's heart just a little more, yet it still hurts so much. It hurts enough to not care anymore, which is sometimes what has to happen before you can find your way back from the edge. So, I gave it 4 stars. It was a good book.
You can't read it again?
No, I could never read this again. I could never read this again. Oh my gosh, it's so real about just how people handle trauma and homelessness, addiction. Oh God, it's heartbreaking. If you want to cry. If you need a good controlled cry. Yeah, you need a good controlled cry.
Gotcha.
Oh, it was just good and bad.
Heartbreaking.
Is it kind of like if you had been with me where it was like, I can't read this again, but it was beautiful?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and
the Nightingale.
You get to follow her whole story of trying to live after rehab from a near attempt on her own life. I mean, and then she finds a love interest, except that love interest is struggling with his own demons.
Right.
And just the back and forth and the way that this all goes down at the end, right before everybody has their moments of clarity and things are going to start hopefully going on the up and up. Oh, the breakdown right before it. It hurts. I do think that anybody who has teenagers they're not understanding, this would be a really good book for maybe you to see what goes through their mind. It probably, if they're just not understanding, it wouldn't be to this extreme, but maybe you could get a window into their thoughts.
An idea.
Yeah, if you've not been there and had issues with things like this before, but it's a good book. Only read it if you want to cry.
Just know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Don't go in blind.
Right.
Like me, who's like, TikTok loved it. Let's add it to the Libby list. Oh, it's available. Don't even read the synopsis.
Right.
Like, I had no idea what I was walking into. I don't know why the image on it didn't cue me in.
Oh, my God.
To what, I had no idea. I don't know what I thought this was.
Honey.
I guess I thought it was supposed to be a scary book, and I was like, oh, this is probably not that scary. It's fine. I was an idiot. Oh, my God, I was an idiot.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Yeah, you get into, like, chapter 2, and I'm going, oh, I know where I'm at now. Oh, I don't want to be here.
Oh, gosh.
I've got to keep reading. It's good. How fast did I read this? Because this was a pretty quick one for me. It was, and I know I took the weekend off here. Mm-hmm. So like 4 days.
Wow.
That's not bad. Yeah, because I was just kept like, okay, I need to know more. Please tell me more.
Right.
Also, don't tell me anything else. I want only the
Keep
good.
it to yourself.
Where's the good?
Yeah.
Keep giving me good.
Exactly.
And they would just like tease you with it and be like, no.
Just kidding.
It was heartbreaking all over. Recommend it. Don't talk to me about it. Anyways.
Bless.
And that's the end of my books for the month because I only read 3.
Hey, that's okay.
Yep.
It's a busy time
Reading
of month.
slump has kicked in hard, and it might be because of all the crying. Could be because of all the crying.
You need something fun. Fun.
Yeah. These Silent Woods.
Yes. I saw on a TikTok where they have a book club where they were rating they did one of those things where it's like, my name's Allie and my favorite book that I read this year, and multiple people said These Silent Woods. So I tried it out. It was available immediately on Libby, I do believe, or
Which
maybe
makes you-
just a small hold.
Makes you question.
It really does.
Right? So I did that. It was a good book. I will say that before I even get into it. It was a good book. It was sweet. I loved the ending, but also, have you ever read those books where at the end of it was kind of like, well, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it had a good storyline, but also it was just kind of like, I feel like nothing. And it's so weird because most of the time my thought process doesn't change whenever I read books, but also I just had that feeling of, I don't know why I did that, but it was still good. So I did rate it a 3-star. It was cute. Well, okay. So let me read the synopsis first, because it's not necessarily cute. I don't even know how to explain it. It's These Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. A father and daughter living in the remote Appalachian Mountains must reckon with the ghosts of their past in Kimmy Cunningham's Grant's These Silent Woods, a mesmerizing audiobook of suspense. No electricity, no family, no connection to the outside world. For 8 years, Cooper and his young daughter Finch have lived in isolation in a remote cabin in the northern Appalachian woods. And that's exactly the way Cooper wants it, because he's got a lot to hide. Finch has been raised on the books filling the cabin's shelves and the beautiful but brutal code of life in the wilderness, but she's starting to push back against the sheltered life Cooper has created for her, and he's still haunted by the painful truth of what it took to get them there. The only people who know they exist are a mysterious local hermit named Scotland and Cooper's old friend Jake, who visits each winter to bring them food and supplies. But this year, Jake doesn't show up, setting off an irreversible chain of events that reveals just how precarious their situation really is. Suddenly, the boundaries of their safe haven have blurred, and when a stranger wanders into their woods, Finch's growing obsession with her could put them all in danger. After a shocking disappearance threatens to upend the only life Finch has ever known, Cooper is forced to decide whether to keep hiding or to finally face the sins of his past. It was very good. I do like the beginning was almost, which we've spoke about Brother in the past, and it was Appalachian Woods, you know, basically living on a homestead.
Right.
Gave me those vibes. It is not like Brother at all.
Good.
But I don't know. I've always liked the thought of like living in the mountains in a little cabin.
Yes, something about it is
off
so
the land.
simple.
Yes.
And, even though I know it's hard work, I know it takes work, but something about it is just like that's as a people, that's our roots.
Right.
We should do it. We all buy a plot of land. We get rid of all technology. We just live and homestead.
I don't know why, but instead of technology, I thought you were going to say our husbands. I don't know why. Like,
It has different fantasies.
am I showing my hand too much? Maybe.
We build a fourth house that has a sign that says "No boys allowed."
There we go. Yes.
They can come. They just stay on your edge.
Exactly. Well, they have one little corner they have to stay quiet
Yeah.
in. They each get a corner. Yeah. That sounds good to me. But that does sound dreamy.
I think I did rate it a 3-star, maybe a 4. It was maybe a 3-star. I think I rated it a 3-star because I don't think I would read this book again.
Gotcha.
So.
Did it not hit the expectations that, with so many people saying that was their favorite book of the year, maybe the expectations were up here?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Okay.
It was just, to me, I don't think I even went in with any expectations, really.
Okay.
I just did it because I was like, oh, these people like these books. I'll give it a shot.
Gotcha.
You know, it wasn't
Gotcha.
like I want to read this book so bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like
Enough people have talked about it to where it's like, okay, let's see what the fuss is about.
I'd never seen it before.
Okay.
Before
Yeah.
so it was
I
just
haven't
kind of
either.
like, okay.
Where's
I'll
this
try
been
it.
hiding?
Right.
In the northern Appalachian woods, apparently.
Yeah. Hiding from its past, if you will. So.
Law. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so the rest of this month for me is basically, I started getting into the Christmas Rex, so I had to read some Christmas Rex to be able to talk about it. So I'm just going to give the title, the rating that I gave, and where you can find it. We'll go more in depth on these 5 with the Christmas Christmas Rex episode that will be coming next week. So stay tuned for that. So the first one that I finished was on November 25th. It was my favorite Holidate. I gave this one a 4-star. I'm very excited to talk about this one. I've got big things to say about this one because I loved it. It is Hallmark, but it's, I don't know. It was just great. It was great. So I gave it 4 stars, and it is on Kindle Unlimited. That is how I read it. So there you go. Something free. And then right after that, what?
Ooh.
Oh, that was the 25th as well.
Oh no.
You would think.
Oh no.
You would think. I'm also excited to talk about this one because it was severely disappointing. This one was A Christmas Ghost Story by Kim Newman.
Should we put it on the Christmas Rex?
I'm going to put it because it might be somebody's cup of tea.
Okay.
It might be somebody's cup. It was not mine.
Does
I
it
was very
give
disappointed.
Ghost of Christmas Past?
No, and I wish it did.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. Stay tuned next week to go more in depth on that one. I gave that one a 2-star personally. Like I said, it might be somebody's cup of tea. It was not mine. No, thank you. Sadly, this one does not have a free option. It is not.
Oh, so you had to pay for it.
I had to pay for it.
So that's even worse.
So that makes me feel even worse about it. So yeah, cheapest option is $10.99 on Kindle.
I see.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about it just to get it out of my system.
Okay.
So that was my 2 on November 25th.
And Allie, 27th.
Okay, so I still have When the Moon Hatched
Yes!
by Sarah A. Parker on hold. I still have that on hold because I gotta skip the line loan.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I got to get a little sneak peek. I am gonna read this again.
Really?
It is on Kindle Unlimited.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I
yes.
actually want to physically read it. I listen to it.
Okay. You want to see how it varies?
Yes. So my sister-in-law Kat, this is I said in the past that her favorite was One Dark Window. I messed it up.
It's this one?
It's this one.
Okay.
Because later I had already finished One Dark Window, and she was talking about it with me, and I was like, well, I had gotten to the part where, and I was about to spoil something. She goes, I haven't read it. I said, wait a second. I was like, this is your favorite book. And she goes, no, it's not. I haven't read it yet. And I was like, what's your favorite one? She goes, When the Moon Hatched. So When the Moon Hatched is her favorite. A lot of world building.
Okay.
A lot of world building.
I can handle that.
And it is fairly long. To listen to it is 17 hours. We have people on TikTok who kind of differ about how long.
The thing is, it depends on your reading speed, like what you set the speed to. I mean,
20 hours. I apologize. 20 hours. So I could not read this. I normally read books at 2 times speed. Mm-hmm. I could not read this at 2 times speed.
Was it something about her voice or just the amount of world building?
The male narrator, he puts a accent with it. I'm going to go on a rant.
Let's hear it.
So
I thought that was supposed to be used to stop the tangent, not start it.
well, for me,
it's adapted.
For me, it's different.
Oh,
because,
it's okay if you have a tangent.
Yes.
See, in Snapchat, you said it was for you to stop your own tangents. A little confused. Oh. Okay.
That's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be.
I'm bringing my own bell next time.
No, it is supposed to be to stop tangents, and I am the tangents person, but I do need everyone to listen to this. So.
Yes. Let's hear this.
Male audiobook narrators, actors, whatever you want to call yourself. Not every man needs to talk like this. I am currently also Spotify. You get 15 free listening hours for if you pay for Spotify.
Yeah, nice.
I am listening to Powerless. That male narrator is so good, and you want to know why? Because whenever I listen to him, he's not talking like this, and I'm like, shut up.
We can't all be Sean Connery.
Let me see if
she's here. Kit was howling with laughter when he discovered
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's a normal man.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
good. I was about to
nice.
say, if that's the
That's so
deep
good.
one, that's not that
Yeah.
deep.
That's so good.
Yeah.
What the heck? Why
Yeah.
don't you all talk normally? So that's the only thing I have to say about it.
Take notes, male narrators.
That's the only bad thing I have to say about it is because whenever you're listening to it and there's a spicy scene, it's not spicy anymore. It's weird. It's weird. Okay. Anyways.
Tangent over. Where's the bell? This bookends it.
Law.
And if you can't hear that, you don't believe in Christmas. So
yes.
Polar Express spoilers.
we got this from the Polar Express.
Oh,
we went to the
yay.
Polar, so yeah.
Oh, yay.
Alrighty. So, the best-selling phenomenon, When the Moon Hatched, is a fast-paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. The creators did not expect their beloved dragons to sail skyward upon their end, to curl into balls just beyond the gravity's grip, littering the sky with tombstones, with moons. They certainly did not expect them to fall. As an assassin for the rebellion group, Fier de Ath, Rave's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Rave finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Con Vagor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest, he is lured by a clue into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. So it is really good. I did give it a 4-star. So yes, lots of world building, a different take on the typical things you would see in fantasy novels.
Really?
So a different take, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been on my...
I don't know how to talk
Not
about
spoil
it
it?
without spoiling it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A different take.
We'll have to read
A
it.
different take
Yeah.
on a different
Well,
take
I
on
went to
enemies
put it
lovers.
in my TBR, and it's already there.
Yes.
So,
It's been on mine for ages.
Has
It's
it?
really
Yes.
good.
I don't know when I put it
The
there.
new book comes out next year.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I
Do we know
definitely-
when, like, early, late? Do we know?
Yep, October 25th.
Well, hold off.
Don't know why I almost said Allie's birthday. That's not even close.
That is nowhere near.
I usually wish you happy birthday on August 13th, not October.
Law. You'd be severely late.
Yeah.
Wait till
Yeah. I'm usually a month early.
Right.
So yeah.
Is that mom in you?
I really liked it. I did really like it. I don't know if I would consider it a favorite. I'm
Okay.
going to read it again because I feel like I missed some things.
With a lot of
So-
world building, typically you do.
Yes.
I noticed that with Crescent City. Whenever I initially read, and let this be for anybody who's thinking about reading Crescent City, push through it. It is a lot of world building. You don't have to get it all in the first go.
Yeah.
You're not going to. I could not keep up with everything. However, the second read through made a lot more sense.
Okay.
More things clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that part in SpongeBob where he's got like his the top
the
of his
people are
head.
working?
No, the top of his head. Patrick's head clicks on.
Yes.
And there's a plug
Power cord.
that gets plugged in. That's how it felt going back and reading it the second time. So yeah, don't let that deter you, and that won't deter me from this book.
Okay.
It's still on my
Yeah, it's a
TBR.
lot of world building. So that may be the case.
Right. All right. So my last 3 were Christmas Rex. So quick skim through on those. So on the 29th, I finished 2. The first one was The Stupidest Angel by Christopher Moore.
Okay.
This was yes.
This is a Christmas wreck?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I cannot wait to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Is it on Kindle Unlimited before?
It is
I know
not.
that's usually how
It is not.
we end it, but so you do have to purchase it.
Yes, you do have to purchase it. But let me tell you, only $8.31 on Audible.
Okay.
So $3-4 less than a credit's worth.
Okay.
So yeah, I get it cheaper. Yeah. I didn't check Libby.
Let me look.
Yes. But yeah, this one, I am so glad that Wooley mentioned it, because I found out it was a Christmas book because I was pulling those pictures for the Wooley episode, and it was like it was blaringly on the cover
Available
a Christmas
immediately on Tennessee Reads.
Hey,
If your library
Who's
has
it
Tennessee
by?
Reads,
Christopher Moore.
it's number 3 in the series though.
That's
Number
what I was
3,
about to say.
You don't have to read the other two to understand it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's a lot. Some of these Christmas ones are like that, and I
Yes.
like that.
So, like it had a note at the end where, you know, certain characters are referenced in some of his other books, even ones that aren't in the Pine Cove series. They're referenced, but it's not necessary for the story.
Yeah.
So, I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I can't wait to read the other 2 now. It was so good. Also, that same day, I finished Christmas Jigsaw Murders. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. The cheapest option is $7.39 on Kindle. Maybe try to find it on Libby, because it
Not worth it.
was just it was a read. If that's what you're looking for at Christmas time, there you go. But it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. We'll get into it. And then the last one that I read was on November 30th. I finished it just in time.
Cha-ching.
Wreck My Plans. Yes, I do believe it is a Taylor Swift reference. I do believe so.
Wreck my plans.
That's my man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, it
Oh,
doesn't...
no. Sorry, I went like this because I thought, is that the one I put on the top of this?
No,
it's not.
no.
It's not.
That one's the 12 Dates of Christmas.
Yep. Yep.
This one...
It's in there though.
Oh, I guess I should have mentioned The Christmas Jigsaw Murders is by Alexandra Benedict. This one, Wreck My Plans, is by Jillian Meadows. And I gave it 3 stars. It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Couldn't have given it 4 for being a Taylor Swift reference.
Kasey would have.
Yeah, true.
I'd have wrote that in my review, though, been like, got a 4 for the Taylor Swift reference.
Right. It was good. It had all the aspects that I like. It was you know how those Hallmark ones are. It's just a little bit too sickly sweet of an ending. And yeah, so it's a 3 for me. It's a 3. And I can't wait to get into these Christmas wrecks with the next episode.
Yes.
So, because that wrapped it up. That was the last one of the month.
Whoop, whoop.
We killed it.
So we'll see you in the next one
Yes.
immediately after this.
So you basically have to stick around. So you might as well like, subscribe.
And we've got a mini-sode.
Yes, we've got a mini-sode in this for
So
the
you
first
don't even
time.
have to wait.
Busy
Yeah, busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going. I'll drop the mini-sode this week, so you can be part of the Hunger Games discussion that we had.
See how my hot takes are with the because apparently I had some hot takes.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. We go into
Bad
depth.
ones. She's wrong.
She's wrong. We're going to change her mind. But all right, so we are.
Mine's not changed. If you thought you were changing it back then.
So this completes another episode. Don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. What did you read this month?
Yeah.
We're always looking to add things to our
Did you
TBR.
have any 5 stars?
Ooh,
Did you have
any
any
DNFs?
DNF ones. Oh, I want to hear it.
I like
all.
controversy.
Yes, let's fight about it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So drop us a comment down below. Like, subscribe. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, Spotify. Everything's still free. might as well come hang out with us. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, The Unfinished TBR. We've got an email, theunfinishedtbr@gmail.com. We want to talk about it. Obviously, we like to talk. So let's keep this conversation going.
This for 3 hours.
Only. So we hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below. Let's keep the conversation going. We love you. Have a fantastic week. See you next week. Whoop, whoop.